Hi, everybody. Welcome to 字 Espresso, your daily shot of Chinese words with Catherine Xiang. I'm Catherine Xiang. 大家好，欢迎来到我的频道字 Espresso。在这个频道呢，我们看字和词之间的关系。However, in this new playlist, interview with experts named 名师讲坛, I'm so pleased to have my dear colleague Hongyi Xin, Xin Hongyi 老师 join me today to share about her research, her project, and her unique teaching approach. Hongyi, would you like to say hi to friends of the Espresso?
Hello, everybody. 大家好.
Thank you, Hongyi. I would like to formally introduce Hongyi. And she is an experienced Mandarin teacher starting at LSE since 2006 for students of all levels with different needs. And she has spent considerable time teaching Chinese characters and for specific purposes, including legal Chinese. And she's the winner of Excellence in Education Award at LSE. Alongside teaching Chinese at LSE, she also keeps a very broad industry interest. So she provides business consultancy for companies seeking opportunities in doing business with China. In China or with China, her expertise covers law, finance, investment, and international collaboration. And trained as a linguist and university educator, Hongyi actually began her career in international trade and investment cooperation, first serving as a diplomat, and then later tailored her interest towards legal service aspect. She holds an MA in Russian linguistics and literature from Beijing Normal University, and an LLM in banking and finance law from SOAS. So I'm really pleased to have Hongyi here with us today because she's not only just a Chinese educator, she has a wide range of expertise and experience. And I want to specifically ask her today to share about the course she has developed at LSE called Legal Chinese. So Hongyi, over to you.
Thank you very much, Catherine, for your kind introduction. I'm very happy to be invited to join you to your 名师讲坛. I would assume it would be a very interesting discussion today. So I'm very happy today to talk about the legal Chinese. Not arguably that recent years we have seen the increasing booming of Chinese teaching. Alongside the development in economic and cultural exchange, there are gradually more learners in Chinese teaching. Not surprisingly, we have great demands for legal Chinese as well. So today I would like to look into legal Chinese teaching from three aspects: situations, solutions, and evaluation. When we look at the situation, I would like to use this picture to assist my talk today. So the center will be the students. The students, what kind of students we have. I would like to say most of them will be law students, graduates or undergraduates, and also people from legal professions. They are working as a qualified or unqualified lawyers and legal counsels in companies, and some may wanted to work for the government or international organizations. So generally, it's future legal professionals and or current legal professionals or anyone who'd like to work in the law or legal related institutions, companies. These students, unarguably, normally, they are very highly intelligent. They are sharp and quick-witted, and also very meticulous, pay lots of attention to details. Also, they are very challenging people. Okay, these are students. And the language, the Chinese language itself is a system, is different from the Western language. The legal Chinese, in Chinese, we would say 法言,法语. That means the legal Chinese is lexis is special and the syntax is different. From the 法言, the lexis side, we can see in any law, legal documentation, the language itself has lots of jargons, we say, the specific legal terms, and also many of them has a foreign origin. For example, especially like Latin language, we probably sometimes we don't know what does it mean pro bono, what does it mean bona fide. That is the foreign things. For the synthetic wise, we would say the legal term, the legal documents normally has very long sentences. For example, we probably not everyone enjoys reading the legal document like agreement. For example, we have the mortgage, our personal home mortgage or car insurance, or some contents insurance. Normally, the prints are small and very long, and we feel probably it's already headache even before reading them. This is the language itself. The teachers, yeah, sometimes if we have the task to teach legal Chinese, we probably think, oh my God, I'm going to face this kind of students and the language is like this, and am I eligible or my knowledge adequate to teach such objects? Yeah, that is do I need to be a legal practitioner, or do I need to have a specific knowledge, or do I need only to be like a learning teacher to learn more legal terms or legal knowledge or something like that? The teachers' dilemmas, yeah, in this situation. Textbook wise, currently, we probably in the market, we don't have lots of choices. Yeah, I attended recently the CPA held by LSE, the CPA, or Chinese teaching for academic purposes. One presenter has mentioned for example, the business Chinese teaching in China alone has published more than 100 textbooks. For legal Chinese, that is another scenario. Number one, is not very much a textbook or teaching materials we can use. Number two, we probably need to ask, are they suitable? Yeah. Having looked into the situation, of course, we already, in our minds, started to query what kind of questions and what's the possible solutions. Okay. As I said, I summarize here, the students is like this. The language itself, okay, and the teacher, a teaching lawyer or a lawyering teacher or a teacher, what kind of teacher, a teacher of what? Yeah, that is, I'm starting to think when I was encounter this situation. And this week I leave it blank, because from in the early years, I have taught a group or some groups of lawyers, and to be honest, the results wasn't very pleasing or successful. And the students has spent a long time, and I don't think they're happy, and I wasn't happy too. So this is the situation and problems. Then I think the best way is we face the problem and find the solution. So that means I say knowing you is a student, knowing me is a teacher. Okay, not just me, the teacher. Okay, so from student side, we probably need to think about why they come to us. What do they want to learn? Why? Yeah, that involves the needs, their needs. Okay, their needs, probably their language needs, any gaps between their current situation and their future dreams, the language needs, and from their side, okay, and also maybe they have any dreams for their future studies, research, or profession. Yeah, that is from the employability side. Also, this is a student needs, and also probably their future long, how do you say, the time as a time learner. Yeah, that is from the teacher side. The teacher may like to ask, why I'm here. How can I help? Am I adequate? Maybe also check the knowledge bank. Do I need to self-study anything, or are there any resources I can go to ask for help, like maybe experts or some written or other documents? Okay, that is a teacher. Also, the very important things, we need to decide the materials or textbook and the procedure of finalize your teaching. That involves approach and methods you are going to use. Final things maybe every teacher knows is how to evaluate. Will your teaching effective? Have you helped the students achieve what they want? And for yourself, how can you self-check your teaching is successful? Okay, that is normally our teacher will do needs analysis and the course design, and then the teaching approach you are going to use, and it's also involved for the course design materials and the teaching methods. Okay, and course evaluation. For the legal Chinese, I think the industry practice probably is very helpful. Yeah. For the approach, teaching approach, I think, in my view, we should have a combined approach. Because I think the needs from the student side, that would be, they wanted to be efficiently communicate with their future clients and their colleagues. Their colleagues involve their colleagues from their workplace, their colleagues in the office, their colleagues in courts, yeah, and from other companies, institutions. That so many say content-based approach or instruction is very helpful because students will have the opportunity at the same time to learn the knowledge related contents, and also to further develop their language skills. Yeah, the scholar called Mohan, I agree with him. I think according to him, he said language and content should be learned at the same time. This point of view put an emphasis on the significance of language and content integration. We don't want students just to learn the isolated language skills because they have the immediate, they wanted to use effectively and immediately in a legal context. The CBI, I would say, the content-based instruction, in short, is the CBI. CBI has two benefits, in my view. Number one, it combines, as I said, it combines the language teaching and the legal specific knowledges. Okay. Number two is maybe makes the students more motivated because this teaching relates their language learning with their knowledge in legal and also with their study area or profession, future profession or current profession. So as we know, as long as someone is interested or motivated to do something, they will be able to do it better. Of course, there are many other approaches in teaching Chinese language as a second language. We wouldn't say only CBI will do the job. We need to not forget the grammar translation approach, especially the lawyers or people. They wanted to do the legal related job. They must need to read a lot. And also they need to be able to very quickly switch from one language to another. Okay, so grammar translation is, I think, is a key method too. communication skills that it's any modern language teaching, we will not forget about. We need to make it communicative. Okay, and skill-based or task-based, more or less, we will also touch this bit. But content-based instruction, I think, is the very center of my way of teaching. Grammar translation approach and communication is my tools to assist this approach. Yes, the next bit I'd like to briefly introduce the LSE example, what we have done. At LSE, our students mainly come from the law department or international relations. Some may come from the government and the policy. And we have assessed the language, and in order to focus on meeting the specific needs, we require the language level will be C1. The future, they'd like to go to work in these firms or institutions. The key skills, we focus on 4 skills, of course, but we will emphasize effective communication. We will use the grammar translation method to train their skills. Memorizing key terms is one task they must do, because each week they need to remember 40 key terms. Okay, the approach, as I said, is CBI is a center. Okay, course book is in-house. We think the current issues and case studies and also case studies is very relevant because we want to keep them current. Yeah. For example, when they come for the assessment day, they can talk about the legal reforms in China, and which is very interesting for the employers. And also, we probably like to talk about the ESG. ESG is environment and social and governance, which is very important for any corporate firm, corporates. What we do at LSE in the industry practice, number one, we invite the experts. These experts are legal professionals, like lawyers from big law firms, or some people in-house counsels. And also we have invited people from the legal society who are practitioners and who also has done a lot of the community services. That means we invite the experts in our class. We also take our students out to the community to do the community services. This bit I would like to emphasize 2 things. Number one, the course contents sometimes are changing because our students are different each year. So we need to fulfill their requirements. So sometimes we emphasize more corporate things or commercial laws. Other times we probably will need to focus a little bit on international conventions or criminal laws. Here is a little concern about corporates. Okay, how do we protect? Because we use lots of authentic materials, like we take recordings from lawyers, like who practice in China. Okay, video recording or audio recording, and also some probably some authentic writings, essays. So that is a little concern here. I wouldn't worry too much about the legislation that is already is a public use. For the course evaluation, and we will do the systematic way as all the other subjects at LSE, like we do the continuous assessment and end of year examination. Also, we will ask our students to do some projects. For this course, we ask your students to do translation projects, and at the end, as a for some students, if they do very well, they get a reward. They have a chance for their translation to be published in LSE book review. This case, they can show their future employer to see their written skills. Okay. Also, we say for the needs analysis period, we have done lots of like questionnaire or surveys to find the needs. And we also, at the end of the course, we will do the questionnaire to evaluate about our course. And also, we may continue keep contact with our students who already started working in the legal profession. We will ask them opinions and ask for advice for future improvement as well. Okay, so that's I'd like to share today. Basically, I think if we see legal Chinese teaching as an umbrella, it has 4 pillars. Number 1 is necessity, that is the needs. Okay, number 2 is foreseeability. How can we make it work? Okay, a differentiation is how it's different from the general teaching or other Chinese teaching with other purposes. And finally, how can we make sure it works?
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. I have a few questions. One is about the content. So you mentioned we need to adjust the content in order to meet the needs of the students. That's wonderful. Is there anything that you will always keep, you think is very essential for students to learn?
Yeah, very good question. The very essential for this course, I think, number 1 is the skills. It's more like, I would like to say, to be, how do you say, conventional or a little bit conservative is translation skills. Translation orally and speak and in written. So we do a lot of practice. We need to look at the number 1, we need to look at the structure, the sentence structure, both for Chinese and for English. And we will compare what's the differences. Number 2, I think they need to remember the legal terms. There is no ways to escape this one. Number 3 is keep practice.
Okay, and you also mentioned about not only bringing professional, legal experts into the classroom. You also mentioned briefly that you encourage students to go out of the classroom. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
We take out students to serve the community. Because in the legal profession, pro bono service, it's like a volunteer service. It's very important. Okay, we are very lucky. We can have access with the Chinese Lawyers Society in the UK, and they run a pro bono service, legal service in Chinatown with the Chinese Information Center to provide weekly service for people who needs legal advice but who couldn't afford. Many of them, they facing the home violence, or their asylum, or they have the problem with visas. It's like that. Our students, they will just give advice, or they will tell them where they can find the help or introduce them to lawyers. Our students are very keen to do this. They contribute 2 or 3 times during the course, go to Chinatown to work with legal professionals. The good thing is, after meeting, I wouldn't say the clients, the people who need help at home, they are required to write a report, like the case they meet, to give to the law society, and the law society in turn will publish their case in their circle.
Oh, wow.
So what I can do here? What I can do here is I will, of course, help to correct, to see to correct their work and make it improvement, suggestions. Yeah, make it not. I won't like I do it. I will just correct it as normally as a teacher do.
Yeah, so I can see this is really encouraging, engaging for the students as well. So talking about the teachers, so I think a lot of teachers might have the question, so do I have to have all this legal knowledge in order to teach legal Chinese? What's your advice? What's your view on that?
I think this is a question. It depends on the level of the students. Our example is the students, the Chinese level is already advanced. And there are many others, they are beginners. So if you teach that kind of students, like beginners, or I wouldn't say beginners, like intermediate level students, would be a less legal knowledge required. Okay, it's more like the vocabulary work or generally language teaching skills. But of course, the students will appreciate if the students has more legal knowledge. For the advanced level, I think that would be great if the teacher has the legal knowledge. The teacher comes from the legal profession. But the question here is, will the legal professionals be a good teacher? Okay, that is, my answer is unnecessary. Okay, another question, will the teacher be a good teacher to teach legal Chinese? My answer is yes, of course. I think the number one is the most important, the teacher needs to be the language teacher. Okay, then the teacher probably is need to be motivated to learn something new. Okay, to learn something new, and also to be able to find the resources, relevant resources. In our world, there are so many people ready to help. You just need to come to ask them to help. The lawyers or the professors, yeah, the companies, and also there are so many ready materials you can use. You just need to be creative. To summarize, I would say the language teacher is more important than a practitioner, legal practitioner in terms of teaching this course.
Great, great. My final question, a very important one for all the friends at the Espresso with your rich experience. What would be your 3 top advice to any Chinese learners who would like to improve their Chinese?
Okay, very good question. Okay, number 1, while you're here, that means you need to be self-motivated. Number 2, who will be your teacher? Find the right and suitable teacher. Number 3, the students need to train themselves to be a critical lifelong learner. You need to sort out how your Chinese study will be without a teacher.
Great. Thank you so much thank you so much for this wonderful advice. I think I particularly agree with you that, of course, find a suitable teacher is important, but essentially it is you would have to put in the work and understand why you want to learn this wonderful language, but also challenging language. Thank you so much, Hongyi, for joining us today. And everybody, thank you for watching and looking forward to see you next time. Till then, bye.